Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we're Backyard Musings, Apple Valley, People's Republic of California.
Yep, and we are talking science and technology as usual, and we've got a really cool story, especially for those people who love the ocean, the beach, and the dolphins.
Yeah, this is
Kinda
really
weird.
interesting. Yeah. Researchers investigating why dolphins sometimes strand on beaches have uncovered an unsettling link between toxic algae and Alzheimer's-like brain damage. Studies show that cyanobacteria, tiny organisms that flourish in warm, nutrient-rich waters, produce toxins such as BMAA that can accumulate in the marine food chain. Dolphins exposed to these toxins exhibit the same brain abnormalities seen in humans with Alzheimer's, including amyloid plaques and tau tangles. Would you like to know more?
Okay, so do you think maybe people that swim in these same waters might be affected by this too?
Well, they're saying the food chain, so they're eating something. Not sure if it's going through the skin or being ingested.
Okay.
It looks like they're implying that it's ingestion.
Okay, for anyone who loves the ocean, few experiences are as heartbreaking as finding a stranded whale or dolphin lying helpless on the sand. When rescuers discover one that is still alive, marine biologists and volunteers quickly step in to help. They pour seawater over the animal to keep its skin moist, shield it from the sun, and often cover it with wet blankets. Others work to guide the dolphin or whale back towards the deeper water once the tide begins to rise. But
sadly, not every stranded marine mammal survives. When beachings end in tragedy, they raise a troubling question that has long puzzled scientists. Why do these intelligent creatures become stranded at all?
a team of researchers from Florida to Wyoming believes that they may have found a surprising clue. They propose that dolphins might experience a form of Alzheimer's-like illness that leaves them confused and unable to navigate, much like how some people with dementia may wander far from home. In dolphins, the scientists suspect that disorientation could stem from a repeated exposure to toxic compounds produced by cyanobacteria, microscopic organisms that flourish in warm, nutrient-rich waters.
Evidence supporting this idea comes from studies of people living in Guam, where long-term dietary exposure to cyanobacterial toxins has been linked to the same kinds of brain changes seen in Alzheimer's disease. So Guam's an island, so they're probably heavy into fish, lots of fishermen. It's a natural food source.
Yep.
And if the fish are infected with the cyanobacterial, then I guess the people would by eating them. These include the buildup of abnormal tau proteins and amyloid plaques. One toxin in particular, beta-N methylamino L-alanine, which is the BMAA, along with its chemical relatives 2,4-diaminobutyric acid, and they call that 2,4-DAB, gee whiz, and N-2-aminoethylglycine, AEG, has been shown to be highly toxic to nerve cells. Laboratory research demonstrates that BMAA can trigger Alzheimer's-like brain damage and memory loss in animals. Once these toxins enter marine ecosystems, they can climb up the food chain, accumulating in top predators such as dolphins.
A study of 20 common bottlenose dolphins stranded in the Indian River Lagoon in eastern Florida showed that their brains contained BMAA and its isomers, particularly 2,4-DAB. Dolphins stranded during the summer cyanobacterial bloom season contained 2,900 times the concentration of 2,4-DAB than those from non-bloom seasons.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Brain neuropathology similar to Alzheimer's patients, including beta amyloid plaques and hyperphosphorylated tau proteins, were found in the dolphin brains. In addition, TDP-43 protein inclusions characteristic of a particular severe form of Alzheimer's, were also found in the dolphins' brains.
Hmm.
During bloom seasons, the same dolphins showed 536 differentially expressed genes associated with Alzheimer's disease. Wow.
This is crazy. The duration of cyanobacterial blooms is increased with climate warming and nutrition inputs associated with agricultural runoff and sewage discharges. Cyanobacterial laden waters have often been released down to the St. Lucie River from Lake Okeechobee in the Indian River Lagoon. I've heard of that lake.
Oh, yeah. In 2024, Miami-Dade County had the highest prevalence of Alzheimer's disease in the United States. Quote, although there are likely many paths to Alzheimer's disease, cyanobacterial exposures increasingly appear to be a risk factor, adds Dr. Davis, continuing the quote, among Guam villagers, exposure to cyanobacterial toxins appeared to trigger neurological disease, said Dr. Paul Allen Cox of the Brain Chemistry Labs in Jackson Hole. There
Wow.
you go.
Wow, wow, that's weird. I mean, I'm no
It's
Jackson
sad
Hole,
that it's
Wyoming.
happening to the animals. Very sad.
Yeah, and how they've been able to pinpoint it to this stuff. I mean, what do you do? How do you combat this? I mean, they're going to eat what they're going to eat, right?
I don't know. The algae blooms. That just happens. It's natural.
Yeah, and they're going to eat what they're going to eat, right? I mean, it's not. So I don't know. Maybe this is just one of those circle of life things.
Yeah.
They just.
It's probably what it is.
All right. Well, you heard it here.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you this afternoon. Take care.